For this tutorial, we're going to practice surface creation. And the project that we're going to use for that is the Infilulion Pavilion. It's designed and built at a university in Iran by students. And so I've inserted some reference images here. And I'm going to come out of the top view now and go into perspective view. If you double click on these views, you can come out of them. And then right click, you can change the view type. So wireframe, rendered, ghosted, X-ray, technical, and you can play with these. I'm going to use shaded mostly, as well as wireframe and Arctic for this tutorial. So this is the end result. So right click, I'm going to select Arctic. You can see the Arctic view and all the other surfaces that we created in the process. So on the top of this tutorial, you have all of the surfaces that I made. You can follow the steps and do those. And I'm going to repeat the steps in this lower row of boxes. So I'm gonna begin by right-clicking and going into my shaded view. And if you look here, we're going to be modeling this pavilion today at 1 to 50th scale. So following these two images, one is an axon, and the axon has dimensions on it, 2.4 meters by 3 meters by 2.6 meters. So at 1 to 50th scale, it's going to measure 60 by 40. So we need to start with creating a plane. So lower left-hand corner, it tells you what the commands are that I'm going to be using at each of the steps. And then it's grouped by what we're doing in each column. So here we are, we're going to make a surface. So rectangular plane, corner to corner, 48 by spacebar, 60 spacebar, and then we are on the correct layer. So we're on the surface layer. To make this your current layer, just double click on it. Then I want to M spacebar to move it. I want to move it to the center of this square. So make sure you have your object snap on and middle is what I usually turn on. I don't turn on all the other object snaps selections because it starts to snap to different things and it's hard to control. So typically it's end and middle. And then we're going to rebuild the surface by typing rebuild. Point count U is 9, V is 11. And then I'm going to say, okay. Then on F10, I'm going to turn the points on because I want to deform this. And roughly looking at the images, you should spend some time studying the images. I've studied them, so I'm not going to look at them too carefully as I'm doing this anymore. And then I've selected approximately what I need. And the pavilion is about 50, it's not about, it is 52 in height. So I'm going to pull all these 52 up. So if you pull too many, then you can put some down. So right click on perspective, go into wireframe, and then we're gonna push some of these back down, 52 down. And then looks like this row, I want to be a little softer, so I'm gonna move it by 26. So all I'm doing is I hit shift and then select each of these like so. And then shift again, select each of the control points I want. And maybe I move it halfway down, 26 again. And then I want to check whether I like this particular surface. So if I look at this, it looks like it's bigger. It's got a steeper curve on one side and a shallower curve on the other. So I'm going to try to recreate that here. Okay, so maybe I move this one ever so slightly. Maybe I move it a little bit over or not. We move it down by 13 and maybe 13, maybe a little bit over. Let me see. So let me go into shaded view to check the surface. It's almost right. It's not perfect, but it's almost right. So once you get the surface that you really want, as you can see, one of my corners here isn't very good. So I'm gonna pull that down. 13 looks better. Once you get the exact surface that you want, and the more time that you play with this, the better you will be at modeling these surfaces.